What's up everyone, my name's Eva and welcome back to Polar Topics. Today we're going to be looking at r/ProRevenge, where sometimes it's more than worth it to hold a grudge. Snobby dine and dash couple try to stick me with their $1,200 tab. I worked at a really expensive French restaurant, the kind that I could never afford to eat at. I waited tables and I'm in school for a business degree. Despite my restaurant being very pricey, I still earned minimum wage and relied on tips to pay the bills. The restaurant is next to a university, and even though my boss doesn't pay us a lot, he still donated huge amounts to the school. One night, the restaurant is really busy and this couple comes in. They are young and act like the rich kids of Instagram stereotype. I'm assigned their table along with two others. Right away, they start loudly complaining about how I'm too slow, the music is garbage, we have a 4-piece chamber orchestra, and the menu is hard to understand. It is in French, but the English translations are right underneath. Then they order a $600 bottle of wine. The boss told me if a person looks young to ask for their ID. I see both their IDs and notice when they have their wallets open that they both have students' IDs for the college. They insult me and call me uneducated for not inferring that only adults would be such wine experts. They don't sound like wine experts, they sound like they just came in with daddy's credit card and ordered the most expensive bottle of wine. The girl said to her date, "She's trying to flatter you by saying you look young. Look, sweetie," turning to me. "It won't get you a bigger tip, so save the butt kissing." I bring them their wine, and while they're ordering, they decide to start making personal remarks to me. Why am I a table attendant instead of having a real job? Is my husband a failure? No, he isn't. He was killed in action in Afghanistan. Or do I even have a husband? How much do waitresses earn? Why don't I speak French if I work at a French restaurant? Is that my beat-up Dodge Neon in the parking lot? It wasn't. I don't have a car. I'm used to all kinds of customers, so I try to just suck it up and do my job. They order all the most expensive things on the menu. I notice they take tons of duck face selfies. Even the guy makes duck face selfies. And I feel like smacking him in the face, but instead I just refill his water and fetch him another item off the menu. He actually used the word fetch. I serve my other two tables, and thankfully they're nice and friendly. There's a small nook behind where the snooty couple was sitting, where I grab extra cloth and napkins. I was back there and neither of the two people heard me. They thought I was on the other side of the restaurant. I heard the guy calling me a loser and a pathetic waste, and the girl saying they ought to just dine and dash, and make my boss stick me with their bill and get me fired. I have no idea why these two are picking on me so much tonight, but who knows why anyone does what they do. They're going on and on about how neither of them would waste their life being a waitress, and that they would have careers and would be something in life, not just being people step and fetch it. I was angry, of course, but you know how people are. Talking is one thing and action is another. Still, I ought to be ready for anything. I could tell the couple was near the end of their dinner. Their tab was nearly $1,200. Sure enough, the boy says he needs the bill, looking all smug. I knew how dine and dashers operate and expected the girl to excuse herself to the restroom, then a minute later just goes out to the parking lot, calls the valet, and he goes off to get the car even though she doesn't have their ticket. I text the valet and tell him what I think is happening, and tell him not to give the car to the girl unless I text him that the boy paid. He goes off to the corner lot where he parks all the cars and waits. The boy waits until it looks like I'm occupied with other customers, but he doesn't know I told the maitre d' what was going on, and the maitre d' deadbolts the front door from the inside. He lets new customers in and old customers out, but he locks the door each time and keeps an eye on the boy. We're all working together here because we know if the boy gets away, jerk boss will fire me and take as much of the bill off my pay as possible, leaving me with only minimum wage on my final check and no tips. At the same time, the boss is such a kiss-up that he wouldn't help servers out if they came to him regarding customers who act too entitled. He just lets them treat us like garbage and then fires us if we get cheated. So, as I predicted, the boy sits around, then gets up like he's going to the bathroom because he sees that his car, convertible BMW, has pulled up outside. The valet says to the girl that he can only hand over the keys to the ticket holder, and that is the boy. It's not actually our policy. He'd normally hand over the keys if he were given $10 by the obvious owner or one of the owner's party. But the cheapskate girl wouldn't even give him his $10, let alone a tip on top. The boy thought he had an opening and made for the door, but oof, it wouldn't open for him. Shocker. It's like we heard before that they locked it. Then he started trying to look around if there's another way out, but the only other exit is the delivery entrance in the kitchen. He turns around like he's going back to the table, but the maitre d' is in front of him. I'm next to the maitre d' holding the boy's unpaid check. The maitre d' says, "Forgetting something?" And by this time, I could see the boy's totally disloyal girlfriend try to pay the valet so she can get away. But oof, the valet pulls the keys and parks the car and won't give it to her even though she's telling that she'll call the police. We can hear her through the door. The maitre d' says that's a good idea and he calls the police. The boy tries to bluff like he's going to get us all in trouble or get tough. But the maitre d' moonlights as a taekwondo teacher and invites him to try to get past him. Finally, the manager comes out, and as expected, he takes the boy's side at first. But by this time, several other customers noticed what was going on, and said the boy was a total jerk and a dine and dasher, and if the manager didn't do something about it, they would never eat there again. They stood up for me, and I said I put up with the two jerks' abuse and shouldn't be punished by their unpaid bill. So the manager fills out a police report, and the boy was telling the policeman that his dad could pay, and we were all making a big deal out of nothing. Then, my boss noticed the boy attended the school he donated a lot of money to, and got pissed off and told the school about what thieves the little rat boy and his loser girlfriend were. We later learned that they got expelled, and that both now have a police record because they tried to steal and commit fraud for more than $1,000, which I guess is a big deal legally. I think their rich parents got them to avoid jail time like normal people, but they still have a record because it's only a misdemeanor if you steal less than $500, and they tried to steal more than twice that in goods and services. Within 3 months, I got a better job working as a teller at a bank. Within another year, I'll finish my business degree and hopefully do what I want to do in life. Regardless though, whatever your job is, as long as you're earning an honest living, no one can shame you. There's nothing wrong with being a server, and those kids were just jerks for thinking that. Everyone has a path in life, and these two paths involve checking yes next to ever been convicted for a felony? I like the way that he ended that. That was a great note to end on. I am so glad that OP is doing better in life. I am so glad that OP was able to take them down, get them expelled, and get them arrested. Those people are total frauds for one, and they are absolute jerks and they have no decency, no loyalty, no nothing. I don't even know how those kids' parents would even put up with them and put up with something like that. I know if I did anything like that, my parents would pretty much disown me. Alright, that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and maybe go check out a few of our other videos.